Hey guys, welcome back to Top Tipper Betting Tips. I trust you're having a fantastic evening and you enjoyed the racing out in the Cape. It was a mixed bag of results. However, I don't think the horses were running to true form and some were quite disappointing. However, we move on, we box on, and we look forward to the racing out at Turffontein tomorrow. So I'm going to have the postman that's going to be tipping out at Turffontein and he's going to take us through his preview.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. Racing comes to us on Sunday, the 27th of Feb, from Turffontein, the Standside track. There are 8 races carded, and the first is off at 11:40. Guys, yeah, we did all right on Thursday. We backed a couple winners, so things seem to be going better. Today's card does not look too bad. All the exotics look catchable, but there's no real long shots that I fancy today. So we'll go through the card, and as I said, race 1 is due up at 11:40. It's a work rider's maiden plate to be run over 1160 meters. I personally don't get involved in work riders' plates, and in the buy part, I'm putting 3 horses. So my first selection here is horse number 1, Eagle River. This is Chamo Mobaya for Mike de Kock. This is the second run after a race. Needed the last run, whereby it finished 4 lengths behind Portrayal. Was very prominent that day and tired very late. I see they've kept the blinkers on. I think he's drawn nicely at 6, and I've selected him to run first. My second selection is horse number 2, JP2000. This is currently the 6-10 favorite for Paul Peter. I certainly won't be taking 6-10 in a work rider's plate. JP2000 has decent form. I don't think he's going to Hollywood. He has had 9 runs for a second and 2/3. He is knocking, but I don't think it's a 6-10 shot. For third, guys, I've thrown in horse number 3, Befooted. This is Trent Mayhew for Corne Spiz. Currently 14-1. And I think that in a very weak race, this one can certainly fill in one of the minor positions. For fourth, I've gone for horse number 5. This is Spring Will Come. Thomas Ngube for Diane Stenger. I think the last 2 runs have been too far. I think that this one can sit up there. And again, Thomas may get this one to fill in one of the minor spots. So in the first race, gone 1, 2, 3, and 5. The second race in the card, you offer 12:20, is a maiden plate for fillies to be run over 1160 meters. And going through the form here, I see that the favorite is horse 3, Picara, around about 12-10. And again, I certainly can't take 12-10 on a battling maiden. My first selection here is horse number 1, Lazuli. This is Rachel Venica for Gavin van Zyl. Gavin's horses have been running really, really well lately. I do believe that Lazuli has run too stronger. My only question mark is that Lazuli has had a 28-week rest. If Lazuli was fit, I would make it a really good bet at 4-1. My second selection is horse number 8, and this is Walala Wasala. This is Keegan de Mello for Johan Janse van Vuren. Last time out, with Keegan aboard over this course and distance, finished 4th, a length behind Curioso. I see the favorite did beat it on that day, but I do believe that the 8 has more scope for improvement, so I've selected that to run second. For third, I have thrown in the favorite, horse number 3, Picara. Muzieni jumps aboard for the first time for Clinton Binder. On looking at Muzi's record for Clinton, he's had 24 rides for 2 wins, so it's an 8% strike rate. I do believe that Picara can get beat, but again, if you're taking buy parts, you would have to throw it in. One would be foolish not to. For fourth, I have gone for horse number 2, Crown Plaza. I see Richard Ferree has jumped aboard this one for the first time for Mike de Kock. I don't believe he's there to look at the weather. I think that the 1100 may be a trifle short, but again, in this type of field, can certainly fill in one of the minor spots. So race 2, I think, is a tricky race. I've gone 1, 8, 3, and 2. The third race in the card, due off at 12:50, is another maiden plate for fillies, this time to be run over 1600 meters. Guys, please take note that horse number 3 has been scratched, and that leaves us with a field of 7 runners. My first selection here, and a confident first selection, is horse number 2, Defender of Rights. Richard Ferree jumps aboard this one for Stewie Pettigrew for the first time. They pulled blinkers off. It's had 3 runs for 3 seconds, has been running on each occasion, and I do believe that this is probably the best bet on the card. I think he's currently around about 12 to 10, but I think that this is the right horse in the race. For second, I have gone for horse number 1, Pashasha. Caden Brewer stays aboard this one for Roy Magna. Caden did ride it last time out over this course and distance, finishing second, 4 3/4 lengths behind Greek Miss. This one sits pretty handy, and again, I do believe he'll sit handy, but I think the 2 will come flying past him. For third, gone for horse number 6, Raising a Storm. This one, I know we had a touch on it last time out. This is Dennis Swaz for Scotty Kenny. This one has been improving steadily. Last time out, finished third, just over 2 lengths behind Sacred Valley. Set pace, was outrun late. It has cracked a number 1 draw. And again, I do believe that this one could fill one of the minor spots. For fourth, I have gone for horse number 8, Arden Park. Gavin Arena for Candice Dawson. There was a touch of support for it first time out. It was slow on the day and very, very green. It should relish the extra distance on pedigree, this daughter out of Gray's Inn. And I do believe with the strong urgings of Gavin, this one can fill one of the minor spots and make your trifectas and quartets pay. So in race 3, I've gone 2, 1, 6, and 8. The fourth race in the card, due off at 13:20, as the Ruffian Stakes over 1,000 meters, and this is for 2-year-olds. Guys, I don't like 2-year-old races. 2-year-olds can improve many, many lengths after one run. If I was taking a pick 6 in jackpot, for me this is a field race. However, we go through and we look, and my first selection will be horse number 2, River Quiraris, Warren Kennedy for Paulie Peter. This won really, really well last time out, showed pace. I see that it did strike a bird during the run. Nevertheless, won really, really easily. I see that Warren has got off the 1 Phoenix Fox to jump aboard this one, and I do believe that this may be the right one in this race. For second, I have gone for the horse 1, Phoenix Fox. Gavin Larina jumps aboard this one for the first time, also for Paulie Peter. Nice form, won well last time out, showed pace, and won by 3 3/4 lengths. My third selection is horse number 3, Showtime. Dennis Swaz for Corey Lensley. There was a ton of support for this one first time out, from 25 to 1 into around about 11 to 2. This one duly arrived by over 2 lengths. Very, very speedy on the day and drew off easily. For fourth, I'll throw in horse number 7, Zoom Lady. This is Jeff Seister for Alec Laird. This one is 3 kilos better off than my third selection. And as I said, these 2-year-olds can improve rapidly. When we go and look at the forms, they've beaten one another. However, there is weight allowances, and I think this is a tough race. So in race 4, I've gone 2, 1, 3, 7, but I'll certainly be loading up in this race, guys. The fifth race on the card, draw at 1350, another listed race over 1,000 meters, this time for the boys. Again, this is all 2-year-olds, so just let's tread warily here. However, my first selection is horse number 4, Arevedicio. This is Richie Ferry for Mike de Kock. Richard rode it first time out, finishing second, 1 length behind Magic Tattoo. However, he is 3 kilos better off for that 1 length beating. He was slow on the day, green, and I do believe that this one will go really, really close. For second, I've gone for horse number 3, Ode to the Ocean. Warren Kennedy for Paulie Peter. Warren has ridden it on both occasions. Last time out, winning a maiden down in Durban at Greyville by 5 lengths. Was very, very speedy, and as I said, won really, really well. Please take note, it has had a 10-week rest, but again, we know that Paul Peter, being the top horseman, he can bring these ones back. For third, gone for a bit of a rough year, gone for horse 7, Above the World. Chase Majan for Cornet Spiss. This one is only carrying 54.5. Last time out, ran a good race, finishing second, 2 lengths behind Cool Winter. Again, a nice speedy sort, and I do believe that this one could finish in the back end of our trifectas and quartets and could certainly make them pay. For fourth, gone for horse number 1, Magic Tattoo. Muzieni for Sean Tarry. This one won pretty well last time out over course and distance. Again, very speedy, kept finding right down to the wire. Muzi takes a ride for the first time. And I think that if you, again, taking exotics, you have to throw all the 4 selections in, unfortunately. So race 5, guys, gone 4, 3, 7, and 1. The 6th race in the card, you're off at 14:30. It's another listed event to be run over 1,000 meters. This is for the girls. And my first selection here is horse number 6, Remember When. This is Keegan de Melle for Johan Janse van Vuren. I have put this up as one of my value bets. I think currently around about 4-1. I think is great value at 4-1. Keegan rode it last time out, beating Bella Chica really, really easily by 2.5 lengths. And again, I do believe that this is the horse to beat. It is a third run after rest. And again, as I said, round about 4-1, I think this is great value. For second, guys, thrown in horse number 11, See My Vision. This is Caden Brewer for Roy Magna. This is carrying 52.5. We know that this one is really, really speedy, and I do believe that this will jump and go and play catch me if you can. And again, should be there and thereabouts. For third, I have gone for horse number 4, Balashika, Ryan Munger for Ashley Fortune. This finished second to my first selection last time out. Shows a lot of pace. Please take note, it is half a kilo worse off with my first selection. And again, this could also finish in the money. For fourth, gone for a bit of a roughie here. Horse number 2, Heaven's Girl, Warren Kennedy for Paul Peter. Last time out, this finished 8 lengths behind Shield of Roses. But when we go back and we look some of its previous form, beat Desert Miracle, second to Under Your Spell. That was 3 lengths. The time before that, a length behind Under Your Spell. So this has got really, really good form. It has been rested for 10 weeks. But again, if you take in larger perms, maybe throw it in and take a smaller percentage. So race 6, guys, gone 6, 11, 4, 2, and I quite fancy a little bit of the 6. The 7th race on the card, due off at 15:05, Acacia Stakes, Grade 3, to be run over 1,600 meters. And in the 7th race, I also quite fancy horse number 3, Sent by Destiny, as a nice value bet. Again, currently around about 4-1. Gavin Arena for Candace Dawson. Gavin rode it and won on it last time out, beating Captain Lannister by 1 3/4 lengths. We know that Captain Lannister came out and won next time out. And as I said, round about 4-1, I think this is nice value. My second selection here is the visitor from KwaZulu-Natal, horse number 1, Mount Laurel. Wendy Whitehead sends this one up with Donovan Dillon aboard. Brings really, really good KZN form into this race. Last time out under Rachel Venica, finished third, just over half a length to Time to Roll, was running on that occasion. And again, I do believe that this one will be finishing off the race when others have cried enough. Wendy's certainly not going to take this one up to Gauteng to have a look at the scenery. For third, guys, they've gone for horse number 11, Hollywood Bound. Caden Brewer for Roy Magna, carrying 54, nicely drawn at 3. This has some nice form. Last time out under Mark Khan, finishing under 3 lengths behind Bold Act. Won her race the time before that. This one will sit pretty handy. And again, I think with a nice handy galloping weight of 54, can certainly make the others lift their feet. For fourth, I've gone for a real roughie here, horse number 7, Saragon. This is Ryan Munger for Candice Dawson. I'm putting a line through the last 3 runs. I think they were blatantly too far. We go back and look before that. Finished 3.5 lengths to Donald McDonald, 3 lengths to War of Athena. Those are good runs. And again, I think round about 25-1, if you're taking trifectas and quartets, throw this one in the back end. If should she arrive, will certainly make things pay. So the 7th race, guys, gone 3, 1, 11, 7, and I quite fancy a little bit of the 3 as nice value. We come to the lucky last, race 8. This is due off at 15:14, maiden plate for 1,600 meters. And this is a really, really tough race, guys. A lot of battling maidens here, so please put in as many as the budget would allow. My first selection here is horse number 7, Canada Square. Keegan DeMello for Sean Terry. This was based in Cape Town. First run for the stable, has had a 15-week layoff. I do believe that Canada Square has been running against a lot stronger. And if this one is fit, I think this one will take a power beating. But again, as I suggested, put a couple horses in here because we're taking fitness on trust. For second, gone for horse number 2. This is Blonde Act. Craig Zaki for Alec Laird. Third run after rest. Last time out, this finished 4th behind Castle of Glass. That was a decent effort. Over 1,400 meters at the Val. And if we go back and we look, this has had some fair runs. And in this field, cannot be left out. For third, I've thrown in horse number 1, Forward Spell. This is Rachel Venica for Gavin van Zyl. Nice, decent run last time over this course and distance with Mark Khan aboard, finishing second, 1 just over length behind With Pleasure. That day, the going was really, really soft. And again, in this type of field, cannot be left out. For fourth, thrown in horse number 10. This is Gavin Arena for Candice Dawson. Gavin stays aboard this one, which piques my interest. This one finished 9 lengths behind King Arthur last time out, was hanging all over the place and faded at the 200-meter mark. I do believe that with Gavin staying aboard, this one may fill one of the minor spots and should certainly be included if you're taking trifectas and quartets. So quite an open event, guys. I've gone 7, 2, 1, and 10. Guys, I do believe that the exotics are catchable today. I don't think we're going to get rough results like we did during the week, especially on Tuesday, I think it was. Check for betting on first-timers. Check for jockey changes. Guys, take it easy. Look after yourselves. And Stevie, back to you in the studio.
Thanks for that, the postman. I hope that we can steer the guys in the right direction and we can start getting back onto track and start making some nice, tidy profit. So, guys, listen to the broadcast of what the postman is telling you, and hopefully we can get back to winning ways and we can start firing. So, all in all, enjoy, have fun, break a leg, and cheers for now.